you see me waving it? That's literally just as I'm it. Engaged offshore. Just going to like go fast. See a little fish in that big one.
Faster than ours, yeah.
Everyone alright? Yeah? Yeah, cool. So if you look over to the port side, that's the left hand side of the boat. If you can't remember what port and left, they've both got the same numbers and letters. Unless you're dyslexic, they've both got. With the churches. Now that's the old Penman Quarry. Now that's quite strong ties to Puffin Island because Puffin Island isn't actually its real name. Its real name is Untitled. Now he was the patron saint of Anglesey. Who actually that was his monastery there, and then he ended up set in a hermitage up on Puffin Island. So the island was named after him. When we're going around the island later on, you will actually see a tower on the island, which actually marks his burial site. He died in the 6th century and the tower was built in the 12th century because it took a long time to get planning permission back in those days. Now coming further along, you've got the old Penman Quarry. Now the stone that is quarried from here was used to build both the bridges coming onto Anglesey, most of Beaumaris town seafront, and also Birmingham Town Hall, which was designed by a guy called Joseph Hanson, who designed the Hanson cab. But what he didn't take into account is how expensive it was going to be to move the stone from here all the way to Birmingham. So it actually made him bankrupt in doing it. Be good about that one. No, she's the
No,
So guys, welcome to Puffin Island. Now Puffin Island is a privately owned island. It's owned by the Richard Williams Buckley family. It's part of the Barron Hill. Now you see those little black and white birds? You got a load of seagulls on the beach, and then come where the rocks are, you just about see some black and white birds. Now they're eider ducks. They're the males. So the males are black and white, females they're the brown ones. The reason is, females they sit on the eggs, so they want to be more camouflaged, like basically. And the males they're just trying to show off.
They're at other end, but
Now if you see any cormorants and shags in the water today, you'll notice they sit really low in the water. There's a shag over there in the water. You just about see his little neck. Now the reason they sit so low in the water is because they do not have an oil gland in their feathers. So their feathers aren't actually waterproof. So every few hours they put back all the foliage on this side of the island. As you can see, they didn't do a very good job. So what they wanted to do then, they wanted to stick mammals on the island. First of all, they were thinking goats and sheep. But unfortunately it won't work because there's no fresh water source. But what do I know?
There's a nice looking bird with a red beak.
Hmm?
Nice little bird with a red beak in it.
Now there's going to be a building that comes into view in a minute. I'll tell you about it now because it's underneath the seals and all this. So that's an old semaphore station. Now there was a series of these from Holyhead all the way to Liverpool. And what they did is they communicated of what ship was on its way, what cargo it was carrying and what price they wanted for its cargo. So basically they could sell it before they got that.
Oh, that was that's what we were literally all our tiny mini boat there. And there was seals everywhere.
So just keep an eye out on the water. This is where you will start seeing seals, okay?
there's one. See it? See it there, they're in between them two rocks.
So this is our colony of Atlantic grey seals. Now we've got a colony of around 60 seals that live here all year round. But in the winter months these numbers grow into the hundreds. This is because they come from more exposed parts of Anglesey and the surrounding area. They live for up to 35 years and weigh up to about 180 kilos. Now males, they're outnumbered by females by a ratio of 7 to 1. That's probably why they don't live with them. Now the reason you're not seeing loads of seals now, they're all coming back now after their feed. and they'll just sit and chill around waiting for the rocks to go out. And then
Then
they'll get out on the rocks, sit on these rocks until the tide goes all the way out, comes all the way back in and pushes them off the rock again. And then they'll go and do another couple of hours. Now seals that cover milk is so nutritious. It's up to 70% fat. So these guys put weight on fast. When people like the RPCA take these guys in, they really struggle to reproduce their milk and make the fattiness. Sounds lovely, doesn't it?
Huh?
Now these little grey and white birds you see up on the rocks here, they look like little doves or little seagulls. They're not, they're kittiwakes. Now the kittiwakes have had a bit of a tough time on the island. They've been laying loads and loads of eggs, but the eggs have been getting robbed. So what they did, they put the cameras up and they found a pair of peregrine falcons were coming to the island and actually robbing their eggs. And it was quite unusual for seabirds, because these are true seabirds. They normally only lay one egg. These don't, they lay multiple eggs. Now this side of the island is where we get all our auks. So the puffins, the razorbills and the guillemots. So like our version of a penguin, you know? This is why they flap their wings really hard, because they have a really dense bone structure. Because they use their wings to swim under the water. So I'll tell you a bit about the puffins on the island. They've had a bit of a tough time over the past couple of years. So the puffins on Puffin Island, now, an absolutely devastated puffin population, well all the bird population really. So much so, in 1996 they did a bird count and only found 6 breeding pairs of puffins from the 20,000. So in 1997, with the help of the RAF, what they decided, a baby puffin is called a puffling. It's quite cute, isn't it? And the collective noun for a group of puffins is a circus. Now, I spoke quite a lot about puffins, now it's time to try and find some. My job is. Now you've all seen it, now we can get a little bit closer, you see. We get the first one.
Big.
Everyone thinks they're big. I wish they were. It made my life a lot easier. People think they're about the same size as a chicken.
This little fellas. Rabbit words. He has no idea what's going on. Oh, she does. Oh, sorry. Okay, tell your teacher what you're doing.
I learned about puffins. And I noticed
once every 30.